On this episode of the Star Wars Time Show, Matt and Nick reunite to break down some more Star Wars news, including the reveal that there will be no legacy characters in the Starfighter movie. Plus, Jon Favreau has all of the Mando Season 4 scripts written. Will they ever see the light of day? This and more on this episode of the Star Wars Time Show. And don't forget, they'll feature Question of the Week responses and the latest round of Top 5 Star Wars fan artist features. Punch it, Chewie. Hey now, everybody! Welcome back to a pre-recorded version of the Star Wars Time Show. Hopefully you all have joined the instant premiere and you're now watching this live on a Wednesday. And maybe one of our happy asses are in there chatting with you, using our super chats and our killer emojis because, yes, because we work here, we are also members of the Star Wars Time Show YouTube channel. If you want to be as cool as us, go ahead and check out that join button down below. All right, it's good to have Nick back. You missed something last week, Nick. You missed something. I don't know. I probably should not have gone live last Wednesday. I was a little bit out of sorts, kind of feeling sorry for myself. You know, just having a human moment, and it got a little dark. Little, you know, not full on woe is me type of stuff, but again, I was openly questioning why we still exist, and I know I kind of took that to you offline, and some of our more hardcore fans have been reaching out and checking on me to make sure I'm okay and giving me inspiration or thoughts about maybe pivoting the channel to something beyond just Star Wars. So who knows? I'm much better today. It is nice to have Nick here. I know if he was here last week or the episode where I was talking about some of the Starfighter news, it probably wouldn't have been as down in the dumps because Nick would have pulled my own head out of my ass. And I at least would have had a friend to talk to for a little bit. But it got a little long in the tooth last week with me just sitting there kind of being a little negative. So it's good to have Nick back to break down even more Star Wars news. You know, we've been bitching and lamenting that we have a Star Wars channel, Star Wars Time. There's always time for Star Wars Time, except at Lucasfilm and Disney. They don't believe in that mantra anymore. So we've kind of ran out of our bread and butter, the stuff that really made us who we are. We would comment on the news every week. I mean, that's kind of what this show started as. And as time has gone on, shows have dropped off at Disney Plus. They stopped making movies. We were kind of running out of things to riff on, so that's when we got into the special topics. And who knows? All I'll say is this: we're definitely thinking about something. Okay, we are thinking about something, potentially a full rebrand, or maybe keeping Star Wars or Time still in the channel name, the mantra. But we do want to potentially open up the type of topics. The other, you know, we want to talk about some other sci-fi, some other fantasy, some other geeky shit at times. And when you brand yourself Star Wars Time Show, I think it tells the world that you're only here to talk about Star Wars. And you all know that's not true if you listen to us, but we kind of need to rebrand, as Nick would say in marketing, to let some new people know that, hey, we're not just two Star Wars losers. We are losers when it comes to Lord of the Rings, when it comes to Alien, the Fallout series. You never know. So who knows? But there's going to be some changes, I think, in 2026, or we'll just go away and I'm going to stop giving myself anxiety about this stupid-ass little project of mine that really, Nick, between Entertainment Buddha and now has been 15, 16 years of my life. And
long time.
The writing is starting to display on the wall, as they say, because I'm really starting to wonder, is the amount of thought, effort, and emotions I dump into YouTube really worth it at 45 years old? Okay? All right. Well, how you been? You had a trip last week, or what was up?
Yeah, had a trip last week. We were in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Had a good time. this is a reveal for you and the fans. Me and Taylor got engaged in Santa Fe.
Oh,
Yay!
shit!
Look at that. Look at that. So
I'm like a
yes.
seal. Well, hell yeah, dude. So was this
Yeah.
always your plan, or did you guys plan this together? Or did you surprise her? I mean, come on, this is huge. You guys have been together for what, 6, 7 years now?
Yeah, almost 8 years, 7.5 years. So it's been a while.
Look at this guy.
I mean, she was not in the know, so she was surprised when she saw the ring. And yeah, I mean, we were just like kind of getting to that point where it was like, all right, well, we're settled down in Austin now. We're probably not going anywhere anytime soon. So time to just get this this engagement stuff moving, and then see
get
where
this
we go
marriage shit out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, we were never once, neither one of us was like, oh, well, I'm not sure why we aren't engaged yet, or I don't know why. We had never really cared about that too much. So, but it was nice to have that, get that under our belts now, and we can start to slowly think about what we want to do for all of the stuff that comes after weddings and parties and all other stuff.
That is awesome. So, I was just, I don't know, it was a random thought, but I was watching an old, well, not super old, but Master Chef, I think over the summer, did like a couples thing. And there's this couple, and they just live together. They've been together. I even think they have kids. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of like Nick and Taylor sans the kids. Like, when you just live with someone for so long, you ultimately are kind of married, but not officially. So that's fantastic. All right. So what'd you do? Like, I mean, did you just like do a walk, a climb, or a hike out in the desert there in New Mexico?
I mean, we were only there for 4 days, so we didn't have a ton of time. We went around to like New Mexico, or we were in Santa Fe. So Santa Fe is a very, very like museum art kind of town. So we went to a few museums, we went to a ton of art galleries, just kind of walked around. Went and had some beers at a local brewery, and just like generally tried to relax as much as possible. That was kind of our goal, was just like, hey, we're going to go there. We're not going to have like any plans. We're not going to have any particular, like reservations made. We're just going to kind of go with the flow. We had our hotel room, which was really nice. And then we were right in the middle of Santa Fe downtown, so everything was super walkable. And yeah, we just kind of hung out, had a good time. So really relaxing time, fun time. If you're a fan of like just quiet ability to just disconnect and kind of meander around, I would definitely recommend going to Santa Fe. And then if you have extra time, you can go to the national parks and onsens and stuff like that are in the area too.
While they still exist.
Yeah.
we don't support national parks here anymore. We want to try and sell them to make more money. We need more money, more land, develop that shit, build some condos on those mountains. Well, Nick, that's fantastic. Congratulations to you, my young Padawan.
Thank you.
Are you guys, I'm assuming you're committed to the dink life though, right? Or has this got you thinking about making little camanitas?
Who knows? We've been on and off about that for a while, so I think that it's a potential, but we haven't committed to anything just yet. So,
well, so far you've been doing it right. You've lived together for almost 10 years. You spent a lot of time just the two of you, so it's not like you had the shotgun and you're right into being a family. So, maybe get another trip or two down as just you adults, and then might be time to think about some little ones running around. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
We'll have our backup Star Wars time show host ready. It would be about the same gap, right? Because you and I are about 9-10 years apart, something like that. So
yeah, I think you're 45, I'm 30, so it's 8 years. I'm 37.
Well, you got to get started because my kid's 9, about to be 10. So we got to keep that window in line.
Yeah.
Because Nick, what child would not want to inherit this empire you and I have built online with Star Wars?
Exactly.
Shit, dude. You're like, oh, sweet, thanks, dads. How many subs you got, and how long? 3,000. How many years you been doing? Oh, like almost 20. What? 3,000 subs in 20 years, you losers.
It's like, hey, but none of them are bots. None of them are Bangladeshi bots or anything like that.
Or you know, they didn't start in Israel and stuff like that. So we're good. Oh man. All right. Well, let's get into it. You know, we don't do it live anymore together, but we still try to maintain the format of the SWTS. So we do have a little Ask Us Anything to get to. We do it every week, whether we're live or not. You just got to check our socials, find the prompt, and lay down your question. All right, Nick, so we did get a few questions this week. Let me go ahead and hit some buttons and pretend like they're actually going to do something. Hey, look, they worked this time. I must have rubbed my belly in the right circular motion. All right, first one here. I saved this one. Because we're heading into the holidays. Spencer got a little early on this, but Spencer, or our boy Baron's Black Series, is asking, Nick, favorite guilty pleasure Christmas movies. I really like watching the Christmas Prince trilogy.
I don't even know what that particular trilogy is. Honestly, like I don't really watch a ton of Christmas movies. Christmas, like I'm not like an Ebenezer Scrooge or anything like that, but like I don't have like I guess my favorite Christmas movie might be like Nightmare Before Christmas. Something like that, but that's like up in the, is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie? Whatever it is what you want it to be. I feel like between those two. So I think that for me, on the Christmas movie front, it's really just that. And I don't really try to watch that many other Christmas movies. There was none that really like stood out to me when I was a kid. And
not even Christmas Vacation. Like, I mean, come on.
Taylor likes Christmas Vacation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag. Shitter's full. Yeah. I am. And it's mostly because I've had a kid for a few years now, and we've kind of. She actually just yesterday she was like, "Hey, Dad, it's about time to start watching some Christmas movies." I'm like, "Okay, hopefully there's some new crap on Netflix," because Netflix has kind of become the hallmark of new Christmas movies that could potentially turn into trilogies, or they buy Christmas movies from the Hallmarks and the Lifetime. So it's fantastic. But if we're talking pure guilty pleasure Christmas movies, this one I found a few years back, and I try to watch the trilogy every year now, and it's Vanessa Hudgens in The Princess Switch. 1, 2, and 3, Nick. There are 3, and the trilogy is very complete. We have a full arc, unlike some of these Star Wars trilogies that we talk about. So I'm going the Princess Switch for sure. And now you all know, at least if you're a longtime SWTS or a fando, you know that another guilty pleasure I have around Christmas time is doing a full chronological rewatch of Star Wars. So that's coming up as well. Might even take it all the way back to the Acolyte this year.
Whoa, going all the way
back. Sprinkle some of those episodes in, maybe drop in a Kenobi episode or two, but definitely going to catch the 9 major films over the holidays. All right. Good stuff. Next question here. Again, hey, we're giving Spencer a lot of time. Maybe it's because no one does this anymore, but hey, we'll take what we can get. What's up with Ray Parks? I guess he's talking about Ray Park, the actor.
Yeah, I don't know. Did something happen with Ray Park?
No. One of our super fans, Tones, must have like Ray Park social media notifications set up, because in our Discord, which is open, by the way, if you guys want to join and hang out with us in between shows, check it out in this video description. But Tones is on Ray Park safety watch, I guess, or social media drunk watch. And it's been twice, I think, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, Nick, that Ray has, I think you're familiar with, sometimes Ray might have a few too many pops and gets online and just posts some shit that you don't want to post as an adult human to the world. I think this time he was going after his mom, so he was like railing on his mom all fucked up or something. So
I mean, like we've seen this before. He's just
it's usually Ray Park a woman in his life typically tends to, or he allows it to get him in this state of drunken emotions.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think that at this point, outside of the physical aspect of Darth Maul and Maul, it's safe to say that Sam Witwer has now kind of taken over as the personality, the voice, and really the driving human being behind Maul. So, not sure what's going on with Rey, but I'm sure it has something to do with the sauce.
Yeah, he's fucking struggling. I mean, it just goes to show you, substance is very difficult. It is a disease, okay, and mental health is everything. If you're not well upstairs, things are gonna go bad. Okay, and I know for men, especially men his age, because he's like late Gen X. I'm guessing he's in his mid-50s at this point. We weren't raised to believe in mental health or anything. So if he's never had someone like that try to correct him or let him know, like, hey, Ray, it's okay to be a dude and go get some help. This is what you get. So I feel bad for the man. He clearly has substance problems and mental health issues, and he is not taking the right choices to try and get himself better. Okay, here's another one from Kramer. Kramer's always going to have a football slant going here. So what's he asking this week, Nick? Do you think Lane Kiffin will take LSU job, or will he stay at Ole Miss? Okay.
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, it really just depends on the money. They're in the same conference and the same division within that conference, so
it's not technically a little more prestige at LSU, though.
Yeah, like that's what I was going to say. You have slightly more prestige at LSU. You probably get slightly more. You'll probably get way more money from LSU. So that's what it comes down to. But it's like, if like clearly Kiffin has been able to put together a program at Ole Miss over his time there, that's pretty impressive. So does he want to like shift it to, essentially rebuild at LSU? Or does he want to just kind of continue to do what he's doing at Ole Miss and then maybe try to turn that into an NFL job? Like, I don't know what Kiffin's thoughts are on what his future might be, but
he's already washed out of the league once. I mean, he's already had a crack.
They bounce back and forth, especially if you take a program like Ole Miss and you get them to a national championship. Maybe people look at you and say like, hey, maybe let's give this guy another shot. But if it was me, if I was Lane Kiffin, I'd just go wherever there was more money, to be honest with you.
Why not? But hey, growing up there though, was LSU a thing to you guys at all? I mean, were you kind of like a Columbus, where the college team's pretty hardcore?
I mean, it was for sure. I mean, there's definitely we're a little bit further removed from LSU since they're in Baton Rouge and we were in New Orleans. So, but the whole state is LSU, really. I mean,
got it.
There's no other like powerhouse sports team that's available there.
Right.
But, I mean, like we followed along the games when Sabine was there and they won the national championship. I think that was in 2004 or something like that. So like early 2000s, like it was a good time. So, even in New Orleans,
I don't like
the
LSU
fandom is strong.
I don't like it. They beat Ohio State in the championship one of the years. I think when Les Miles was there, so they can go fuck
I think
off.
so, yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'll take this next one. Do you think Shedeur should sit? Yeah, I think it, and so does Cleveland, because they just made the announcement today that Shedeur is taking over QB1 duties from Dylan Gabriel moving forward. He had a hell of an impressive looking game yesterday. I didn't see his final stats, but I saw some of the throws he made. And hey, if you can lead the Browns to a win, you're doing something right, because they're fucking terrible. They're like one or two steps below the terrible Pittsburgh Steelers. So, let him go at this point in time. Who cares? He's a 5th round back. All your other quarterbacks suck. You suck as an organization. At least you can generate some juice having Shedeur back there, and whatever his family's going to bring to that. And then Nick, close it out. He's still interested on what do you think about Tyler Shough and how he's been playing. I don't think New Orleans is winning any more games, but maybe that's what you like, right? You go for those draft picks.
I mean, just give us draft picks. I mean, I think that Shuck is better than Radler. I don't think that either one of our quarterbacks is very good. Nor did I expect them to be. I thought it was absolutely wild going into the season that Kellen Moore decided to not have any sort of veteran presence in the QB room, which is
Jameis
wild,
back, bro. Come on, Jameis.
I mean, could have taken anybody. We could have picked up anybody, and like just had a little bit more experience in that room. And I feel like the players are kind of suffering from it. Like, you don't have somebody there to really guide you or to show you things that have been learned over years of experience. And I think that that's really kind of causing issues right now. So, I mean, could Shuck be a fantastic player? I don't doubt it. Like, he's got a really strong arm. He's got a good frame. I mean, he's got, he's got the tangibles. I just think that there needs to be a veteran presence in that locker room, whether it's like, somebody like Joe Flacco, like the fucking Browns
the
had,
old man.
So just somebody that can like hold these kids' hand in their first 2 years in the league and be like, hey, look, here's what you look for in this, defense, or like make sure that, if you're running this play, you check this down, or, just like the little tips that they need to learn. Cause
teach
like
them how to be a professional.
Yeah. And I'm sure that Kellen thinks that he can do that himself, but it's clearly he hasn't been able to resonate with these QBs. So I don't know. I at this point, it's like I think we're in position for the number 3 pick.
Ooh.
I would be happy if we could do a number 2 or a number 1, but it would really take the Titans.
Who the hell's worse than you guys? Oh, okay, never mind. Sure.
Yeah, the Titans. Okay. I mean, like, as soon as the Titans picked Cam Ward with the first overall pick, I was like, okay, well, y'all just wasted your pick, and y'all are going to come in last in the league.
This is still the organization that decided to start fresh and fired Mike Vrabel, who has turned the Patriots around in less than 1 season. So they're like ran by dipshits, which I'm starting to think the Steelers are now ran by dipshits too, but we'll save that for another day. All right, I think we got one more of these, Nick, coming from League. Plans for the holiday. What are you guys getting? I mean, you just blew your wad last week, so what were you off to Disney this week? You skipping Disney Thanksgiving, or you just hanging low?
Yeah, no Thanksgiving plans. We typically just spend Thanksgiving at home, but our Christmas plans are pretty long. So we're gonna be in Europe for 2 weeks.
Jeez.
Yeah, we're gonna be over in Europe for 2 weeks, and we're gonna drive to Louisiana like a few days before we leave on our flight, so we can see my parents for a little bit. See my parents, see my niece and brother and sister-in-law, and some of my family over there, and then leave our dog with my parents so they can watch her while we're across the pond. And then we're gonna spend 5 days in London. So we're gonna fly from New Orleans to London. And that's gonna be our first time really.
A lot of people will be like, "Oh man, it's expensive." It's like, well, I'm an American. Everything's fucking expensive. Like, you go to any big city, it's expensive. So just go there, tip motherfuckers. They'll think you're a god, and enjoy yourself. It's a fantastic old world town.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing, and then we're gonna go to Italy, where Taylor's parents live.
Damn, man, look at this. Okay, definitely don't have kids. Let's go ahead and run that talk back. The way you guys like to travel and do this type of shit, don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So that's it for Ask Us Anything. Like we said, we do it every week. Just get involved by following us on our socials: IG, YouTube, Discord, TikTok, maybe Twitter sometimes. We're there. You just got to find us and respond. All right, so before we get into the Star Wars newsy type of stuff, I do have one little thing I want to discuss. I like to see movies. I love movies. Mm-hmm. So last week I checked out a new release. I've not seen the new Wicked yet because the ladies wanted to wait until tomorrow. They wanted to save it for Thanksgiving week, so I've not seen Wicked 2. So I took the opportunity, Nick, to go and check out another sequel, Sisu Road to Revenge. I don't know if you ever watched the first Sisu, but this franchise is becoming my new favorite old guy in an action movie franchise, because Sisu Road to Revenge Just as good as the first, just as over the top. There's like insane stunts, crazy concepts, like the shit that this guy does to survive essentially a 1 versus 80 Red Army soldiers is amazing. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. If you've watched Sisu, you know what it's about. The follow-up is just as good as the first. Super gory, super intense, great stunts. This guy is my hero. I think he is a bigger badass than Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger's characters combined. All right, I forget what's he called. Dutch and Predator. Yeah, I mean he's
Dutch.
This guy is like, I mean, he makes Rambo look like a bitch. All right,
I'm looking at the poster for it. This looks
it's absolutely insane.
It looks
dude.
crazy.
You'll love it. Like,
yeah.
Let's just say, and I'm not going to give it. This isn't really giving anything away, but at one point in time, he jumps a World War II era tank over a barricade. That's all I'll say. Like that's the type of shit this movie gets into. So it's fantastic, even though some of it is overly bombastic. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. And it's Finnish. It's made in Finland.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Nick, the hero of this movie, doesn't say a single fucking word for the entire movie, and it doesn't matter. Like, that's how amazing this flick is. Okay, and there's a dog.
Awesome.
I'd say there's the second lead, the co-star, is a dog, so it's perfect. Plus, I love, what's his name? Is it Stephen Lang? You know, he's that white guy that usually plays like a bad guy. He plays the bad guy in Avatar. Is his name Stephen Lang? I mean, dude, he's in so much fucking science fiction shit. You'll know exactly who it is once you see him.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen Lang is definitely like somebody that I know the name, but let me see if I can find.
He's in like every fucking franchise you've ever watched. I mean, he always plays like either a bad guy or like a wise old good guy. So he's the antagonist, and he's great too.
Yeah, I like this guy. He's definitely good in the things that he's in, and he has that quality where it's like you never really learn his name, but you see him and you're like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like a character actor, I guess. I mean, he was never like a star, but he's in a lot of big shit. I mean, he is the main villain in the Avatar trilogy at this point. Coming up in December, we're getting a third movie. So I know he's now he's like in a Na'vi body, but hey, it is what it is. You had to keep the bad guy alive from the first one, so they creatively jammed him into a Na'vi. All right, Nick, we haven't done this in a long time, and you know, as I said when we started, this used to be our thing. We'd be like, all right, Reddit, what do we got this week? What are we going to riff on? What are we going to deliver to the fans? How are we going to speculate? What are we going to teach them on? It all dried up, but we're back. We do have some news thanks to Starfighter becoming a thing, Mando and Grogu. You know, there's some interesting stuff to talk about. So I want to start out with a new update on Star Wars Starfighter, and this is Sean Levy's film. And last week when you're not here, I also talked about it because we got an update on its timeline, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but basically here's what we got with Starfighter. Nick's typing a fucking novel or something here right now.
Yeah, sorry. People are reaching out to me for work.
What the hell is he doing? All right. But anyways, Starfighter, Sean Levy said it's not a prequel, it's not a sequel, it's on a new timeline. So that was last week. I'm like, okay, what the hell does that even mean? Hopefully he's not talking alt universe type of shit. So this week maybe it informs that a bit. So he was on a podcast, Nick, and he essentially brought up an anecdote how when he started pitching this movie to Lucasfilm and talking with Kathleen Kennedy, he's like, hey, you know, this film is going to be set 5 years post The Rise of Skywalker, but apparently it's not a sequel. I'm not sure how that works. It's definitely not a prequel. But I guess he kept asking her, and like, hey, Kathy, you know, Kathleen, it's probably going to make a lot of sense for me to use some pre-existing characters in Starfighter, and apparently that is not what Lucasfilm wanted. He goes on to say, Nick, every time I've asked, being Kathleen, should I use this character that was maybe in that movie, every time it's, you know what? People have seen that. Do something new. There's no mandate or interference other than the constant encouragement, make this new, and that's the truth. So unlike Solo, unlike Rise of Skywalker, which was a sequel to 2 other movies and ultimately a 9th film in the saga, Starfighter is all new characters based on new ideas that Jonathan and I cooked up alone and together. So, and then finally he just goes on to recap what Kennedy said to him. I want you to do a Star Wars movie. And I said, well, what's it a prequel to? What's it a sequel to? Which one is it? The answer was, it's whatever you want it to be. You pick the writer, you pick the story. Just imbue it with the feeling that your movies have. So, Nick, it is sounding like Starfighter is going to be something we've never really experienced before in anything Star Wars outside of, I guess, Visions, but Visions is so like adjacent Star Wars that I don't even think we can compare it to that. I mean, this is 5 years after TROS, but it's not a sequel, so it's not directly related to the Skywalker saga. It's not a prequel to anything. It's not going to have any legacy characters, and it's on this new timeline with all brand new characters. So what the fuck? Like, what are you thinking about this? Like, do you like all that? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very happy because honestly, like, if we continue to just work in the same timelines and continue to just expand, like, oh well, let's do a sequel of this character, or let's make sure that this character's in it. You're gonna kind of get stuck in the same way that you did in previous Star Wars, where it's like, okay, well, everything that we have in Star Wars prior to Disney buying it is essentially about 4 characters. Like, it didn't really give you the opportunity to expand beyond what we had already seen. So I like the idea of being like, look, this is a galaxy. Like, this is a huge galaxy with trillions of people in it that have stories that have nothing to do with the main characters that we see in these movies. So why don't we tell some of those stories? And I think that's kind of like, even though Andor did essentially just tell a story about a guy that we had seen in a movie, at least it like really went into an area of Star Wars that we hadn't explored before and gave us something fresh and new. And I think that that's what Star Wars is in dire need of right now, is something fresh and new. Especially on the movie front. I'm excited to see what he does, and I'm glad that Kathleen kind of put things the way that she did. She's like, hey, you are a good filmmaker. Go make a good Star Wars film and do it whatever way you want to do it. Like, I'm not forcing you to put, Rey in it. I'm not forcing you to put Kylo Ren in it or anybody else. Like, you tell a story that resonates with you, that has Star Wars on it. And I think that that's a good way to approach things.
Do you think, even though Lucasfilm's like, hey, no, don't worry about connecting the dots, don't worry about legacy characters, do you think he ultimately infused those themes or characters in some form or fashion in this movie, even if it's just an anecdote talking about the Resistance or talking about the Skywalker legend or referencing the Empire? I mean, do you think we're going to hear or see anything that reflects legacy Star Wars, or is this completely distancing itself from anything that any fan would have any knowledge about?
I think that like you're there at most, that there's going to be like references to things that have happened recently. So maybe you'll get some First Order stuff. Yeah. Maybe the story itself could revolve around like, like offshoots of, the First Order and, things like that. But I do not expect it to lean heavily on like old myths, Skywalker stuff like that, or things of that nature. I think they'll keep it a little bit more recent in terms of like the references and things like that the characters may make.
Do you think they fuck with the Force at all? I mean, is that a concept or a theme?
I think he could. I think if you're playing in Star Wars for the first time, it is kind of fun to be able to mess around with that, to just like dabble in it.
Seems like a big part of the franchise, right?
Yeah. But then again, like you look at Andor and it's like the Force wasn't really necessary in that. Like the Force itself wasn't like, it was maybe spoken about a few times, but it wasn't like a big part of the story.
That is true.
So I think that like there's so much that goes on in Star Wars. If you think about it as like a living kind of universe and a living galaxy, like there's some people who might live in the Star Wars galaxy have no fucking idea what the Force is. Like it's just
I guess
true.
That's what I was going to ask too. I mean, do we in Starfighter now, because they want it to be so different and so new, do we not even stick to known planets? Do we get brand new everything? I guess. I mean, brand new characters, brand new themes, brand new locations, brand new tech.
Dude, I hope so.
Anything like are we even going to know this is a Star Wars movie? I guess. I mean, there's got to be a way to infuse the Star Wars magic in there without doing a lot of things we know he's not doing. I mean, he's clearly not making it a direct sequel to Tross. So yeah, no Rays, no Fins, none of that type of shit. I don't know. I'm with you. Like, I'm just asking questions because I too am like, I'm almost at a loss here. Like, what the fuck could this turn into? I mean, honestly, like how exciting could a story be about a potential starfighter? And what's he a starfighter for if it's not connected to the, you know, the resistance or whatever the hell comes out of the end of Tross? I mean,
yeah, I
don't know. I think it's exciting as fuck, and they're halfway done filming it, so we know it is going to see the light of day. That's the other positive thing. Like, this thing is working. They are putting people onto film. It's just, I don't know. It's so vague, but as you said, I think that's kind of the highlight here.
Yeah, I think it's better that way. I think that like, this may sound like, I don't want to say like ignorant, but like I feel like it's not hard to make a movie feel like a Star Wars movie. I feel like there is so much that makes Star Wars, whether it's like the design of buildings or the design of ships or you know the references that you make and stuff like that. I mean, like, I think that you can easily make something Star Wars coded by just like, hey, he's an X-wing fighter, and then everything else around it is just like, oh, well, he's an X-wing fighter. He's in an X-wing squadron.
Do you think he at least pilots a ship that we'd be like, oh yeah, I remember one of those. I've seen those before.
Yeah, probably so, or something that we can look at and be like, oh yeah, this is clearly like a modded version of. Yeah, something like that. Hell. And I mean, even in one of the, you know, the tweet here from August 28th, 2025, the day one tweet that's in this little article that we're reading, they're sitting on a land speeder. And it's like, oh, okay, like I look at that right away. I'm like, land speeder, boom, right there. Luke Skywalker was in one of those things in the beginning of A New Hope. Boom, I'm in Star Wars land now, baby. I'm here.
It's Gosling and that kid Flynn Gray, and like Nick said, they're together on the speeder. Then they're together on what it looks like a bombed out skiff or a raft. Are they father and son, or is he in charge of this little kid? Kind of, you know, like he was thrust into caring for this person. Who knows? But with the cast, with the director. And now hearing that, you know, Sean and the writing team was pretty much given carte blanche to do whatever and just slap Star Wars on it, I do. I mean, I think this movie has a ton of potential to maybe change the game. Maybe I think even Levy, whatever the hell his last name is, last week was talking. He's like, listen, this movie is truly going to be for everyone. He's like, hardcore fans will definitely get something out of it. He's like, you could be brand new. Like, this is just a movie going experience type of movie. You don't need a degree in Star Wars to enjoy Starfighter.
That is what we need. That is what the Star Wars universe needs, is like when you if you're 12 years old or 13 years old and you're like, oh man, I really like sci-fi, and then a movie comes out, it's Star Wars Episode 11, and you're like, what? I got to watch 10 other movies to understand what this movie is about? Like, this is ridiculous. And like, we're not in an area or like in a time anymore where people are just willing to watch all of the previous material. Like, you have to have easier entry points now. And sometimes like people don't mind. Like sometimes people are like, oh, episode 7, like, or episode 6, I'll jump in there, like whatever it is, 7, 8, 9, like I'll jump in at 7, 8, 9. I don't care about what happened in 1 through 6. But there are like it does get inherently more difficult the more content that you have for people to jump into it brand new. And if this is a spot where like you can make that happen and you can introduce people to Star Wars and they don't have to have all this history to it, I think it's really important. And I think another big thing about this is the names. The names are important now. Star Wars never relied on names. Now you have to rely on names. Like there's very few films now that come out that aren't powered by a big star or a big franchise name. Like it's just how the world kind of works. Like you'll catch the 1 or 2 movies a year that may pop off without it, but like for the most part, like people will go see this because of Ryan Gosling.
Star
people
power.
Will go like Aaron Pierre is a huge name now. Like people love Aaron Pierre. Mia Goth is like really popular with young people now, especially
just was in Frankenstein, right?
Yeah, after Frankenstein. Like you have to be able to unlock these fandoms through their through who they connect themselves to. So
it's a good point, because if they do this movie right, it should pique enough interest in a noob to where they're like, you know what, I do want to dig in a bit more. Like, oh, that, you remember when Gosling's character said that, or they saw that, or they went to that location and saw that reference. I want to figure out where that came from. So let me dig in. Let me go to the Clone Wars. Let me go to Rebels. Let me go to the Mandalorian. All right. So far, what we're hearing on Starfighter is pretty awesome. And the fact that it's halfway through filming is super encouraging. That means it is going to see the light of day. It is going to hit theaters May of 27, a year after Mando and Grogu releases this year. So kudos to Sean and Ryan. Keep on riffing. We are excited to see what you produce. All right, well, speaking of Mando and Grogu, we know this one for sure is coming out in May. Last week, we revealed that Empire Magazine is going to have a big spread on Mando and Grogu, I think this month, maybe December. And Favreau just kind of talked about how, Din and Grogu are resetting a bit. They're getting back to basics. They're no longer just a bounty hunter doing shady shit. Din and Grogu, they want to do what's right. They want to work for the New Republic, yada, yada, yada. And more or less it's confirmed that Zeb is probably going to be the third co-star in Mando and Grogu, just the way he was talking. But what was kind of maybe missed, or maybe I missed it, but revealed through some of these interviews, and again, Favreau is the director, writer, producer of Mando and Grogu. He was talking to Empire, and he just casually revealed, Nick, that he has the scripts for season 4 completed and sitting on his desk. We were planning on doing a 4th season. I had actually written all of that. I still have season 4 sitting on my desk here. So I think that was kind of a surprise, at least to me. I think a lot of us just felt like season 4 was gone. Hey, we're just going to repurpose it and kind of movie-eyes the structure, as John's saying here, because I guess some people, after seeing the first trailer for Mando and Grogu, are like, is this really going to be a movie, or is it just like 2 episodes of the show stitched together? And he's like, no, it's structured around the movie structure, not like a TV series. But Nick, the fact that he's got a fully in the can season 4 written, ready to go, does that lead you to believe that they could return to the small screen, Din and Grogu? Or do you think if this movie fucking knocks it out of the park and drives butts to seats and the numbers Disney wants to see, that they will continue to shelve the TV side of Mando and just keep working on films?
Yeah, I mean, I think if it is a big success, they'll end up spinning it into, they'll be like, okay, take what you have for season 4 and now readapt it for a film. Like,
let's make a trilogy. It's the Star Wars thing to do.
Hey, like if it works, it works. I will say this. I think that they did a lot of experimentation on the TV side of things, and whether it is like I'm talking about Disney and Lucasfilm did a lot of experimentation on the TV side, and whether it is due to the fact that they don't know how to run their own market, like their own like finance department, or they don't want to tell creators that they only have a certain amount of budget to spend, but according to them, they can't get the costs for TV under control. Like they just can't do it. To me, it seems easy enough to tell somebody like, hey, you have $7 million an episode. That's all you got. You got $7 million an episode. You got 10 episodes. You got $70 million. Yeah. Like I'm sure that if you told creators that, they could do it, because there's no fucking reason for Andor to cost more than any movie that has ever made. Like there's no reason. So I think if I was Lucasfilm though, I would say if we make $750 million off this movie, because it surely is not going to make $1 billion, it just won't, then I'm like, give me 2 more. And then we close out the Mandalorian and Grogu story with a strong movie trilogy. And then we go on to new concepts.
Nick's been dying to get rid of Grogu. He's like, fuck this guy. He's had too much time in the sun. He's still not talking. That's enough. No more TV seasons for you.
I just, I mean, I think that they have, I think that what Poor has Grogu. Ended up happening with the Mandalorian is that they didn't know how long it was going to go. So they didn't plan on like, really ending or bringing these characters to a point of logical
Didn't John
closure.
At one point say he was planning for 8 seasons? I mean, he had season 4 written before the movie idea came up. So I could be making this up, but I think at least in John's mind, I mean, again, that can always change when the people with the money say, no, John, no. But I think he wanted to do 8 seasons, had 4 written, 4 has been shelved for the film. I guess as the type of fan I am, Nick is right. Like, listen, money talks, people, and it's going to come down to money. And if the movie bombs, guess what? There might not be any more Din and Grogu movies or TV shows. So it really depends on what Mando and Grogu does. But as a fan that really enjoyed Mandalorian season 1 and 2 and still appreciated season 3, I do like the longer deep dive storytelling that a season could give us. But I'm with young Nick. If this thing takes off box office wise next May, I think you can kiss season 4 proper goodbye, even if John has it written or not. Like Nick said, probably just going to poach some shit from that. And who knows, maybe one day we'll wrap back around towards the MCU gang up film that was supposed to happen, but I can't even trust that one as being a real deal anymore because the Rey movie is in limbo. The James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi limbo, and the crossover film was announced with those two. So it's in the same category as, maybe if we just don't talk about it, fans will forget type of deal. So, all right, there's your update on The Mandalorian. Season 4 is ready to go. Will it happen? Nobody knows except the box office receipts. They will know for sure in 2026. All right, another little story here. This, I don't know, Nick, I guess I'd kind of classify this one as a bit petty, but I guess understandable. So this Henry Gilroy character, and no, he is not related to our Lord and Savior, Tony Gilroy, or his brother. This is a whole new Gilroy that has worked in Star Wars, and apparently worked a lot. So this Henry Gilroy, Nick, he was a writer on Star Wars Rebel, the animated series, and an executive producer. So he had his hooks in that show. Yeah. And he's pretty much coming out saying, like, the whole choice to make Sabine a Jedi, that was never, ever, 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 ever in the fucking cards for the people that created the character and kind of fleshed her out over 4 seasons of the animated show. He goes on to tell Protector of Concord Dawn. There's our new name, by the way, because that goes over well. What the fuck is that? It was absolutely not the plan. We really felt that not only did it step on Ezra's story, it was a weak retread. We already did this. The idea of Sabine training as a Jedi when she is already this fantastic warrior of her own type, we felt like this is overkill. I had nothing to do with the Ahsoka series, so I was shocked. what I love about the story with the Darksaber is that you don't have to be a Jedi to have Jedi ideals. I think that's what's really the more important thing, rather than force pushing Ezra 100 feet when you've never used the Force before. So clearly Gilroy did not like the way Sabine in live action was handled. And, all these years later, Nick, what do you think? Is this guy just feeling petty that he was left out of Ahsoka development? Or does he have a point? I mean, I think you could argue on both sides. I mean, she did look kind of like a putz in live action. I mean, we had a Mandalorian princess who looked like she couldn't handle herself in the live action series. So I get him on that point. On the other, it's like, in the end, who cares, right? I mean, who gives a shit, honestly? But what do you think about this Henry Gilroy or Sabine being a Jedi? I mean, did you even love it in the first place? Do you think one of the original creators kind of has the right idea about how she should have been fleshed out?
Yeah, I mean, on like whether she should have been a Jedi or not, it's a tough question to kind of answer. I mean, I think that they were always kind of leading her down the path of like, oh, you're supposed to be a leader of the Mandalorian people in some sort of way. That's why she was involved with the Darksaber. That's why she was, in the show, she was training to use that blade and stuff. I think that it's surprising to me that if what he is saying is true, which I don't have any reason to believe or disbelieve him, so I'm just reading the words as they are written, that if it's true that Filoni was not involved, or did Filoni not share the same thoughts that the rest of the people did, because he was involved in the making of Star Wars Rebels. Like he was involved with that character creation and that storytelling. I know that, Simon Kinberg, and who was the other one? There was one other person who was like primary writer on it, but
probably this guy, probably Henry.
It was so the creators are Filoni, Simon Kinberg, and Carrie Beck. So it is a little bit questionable for me that like he's like, oh, the plan was never to make Sabine a Jedi or to follow that path, and then like one of the people who created it continues it in live action and then turns her into a Jedi. I don't know if that wasn't the plan. Like, I don't know what was going on in that creative room for the show itself, but to me, it seems like maybe Filoni had different ideas than the other people who were working on it. But as far as I feel about like Sabine becoming a Jedi, I don't know. It's kind of like what we talked about before, where it's like now, like they try to Jedify a lot of characters now. Like Finn was supposed to be a Jedi, and then you had Rey as a Jedi, you had Kylo as a Jedi, and now Sabine is going to be a Jedi, even though Ezra was already there and Kanan was already there. It's like I do think that there is value in having characters. Yeah, like it's nice to have characters that can have their own arc that doesn't end, or that doesn't aim at or have to end at I became a Jedi. Right. It's like it's totally cool for Sabine to be a character that is like associated with Jedi types, but is like I don't.
That's what he was
Jedi.
saying. He's like, listen, you don't need to be a Jedi to have Jedi ideals. It's like they just kind of made that happen. And I do think he has a point, because did Ahsoka really need a Padawan? She wasn't even a fucking Jedi herself at that point in time. So it was like, it's not like she had to follow the mantra of being a Jedi master and taking on a Padawan. And it is weird to take someone that's already an expert in warfare and combat and essentially put them through training that they suck at, and it makes them look incompetent. I mean, Sabine, let's be real. For the entire series until the end, she was incompetent. She did not look like a Mandalorian warrior. She looked like Grogu could kick the shit out of her, and he's just a fucking ward at this point in time in the Mandalorian ways. So I think Henry's got a point. You can see why Dave did what he did. I mean, Ahsoka is his lady love. That's the only character he cares about, and he felt he needed to give her a Padawan, and Sabine was the sacrifice. So here we are. It's not going away. They just wrapped season 2 a few weeks ago, and we should be getting it sometime, I'd say, in the fall of 26. So maybe we'll see if she's any more of a competent Jedi now that her, Ahsoka, and Force Ghost Annie have been chilling on Peridia with the Turtle Clan. Okay. And our last little news note of the day before we get into the fan segment. That's right, we do a fan segment every week because that's how we roll. But this one is about the Acolyte, and Leslie Headland kind of came out and was talking about on the cancellation of the Acolyte and the online backlash, and had a quote like, "I was surprised by how it was handled." So, Nick, if you read this, I think it comes across like Leslie was not surprised at what happened with content creators and YouTube and, you know, the fascist YouTube and other YouTubes and the way it handled her show. But what she was kind of shocked at was how Lucasfilm more or less bent the knee to the bad actors out there on the internet. You know, we'll maybe Star Wars Theory is one of the people she's talking about. But getting into some of her quotes here. So she was talking to the Rap, and they kind of asked her about the cancellation and how it seemed like it happened due to the negative reaction by a certain wingdom of the fandom. And she says, "I think I was surprised at the swiftness of it and the publicness of it. I was surprised by how it was handled. But once I was getting particular phone calls about the reaction and the criticism and the viewership, I felt like, okay, the writing's on the wall for sure. The viewership was a little muddled for me because, and this is my understanding, with Star Wars, you're not just measured within the marketplace that you happen to be in at that time. You're measured against every other Star Wars show. We hit the Nielsen's a couple times, not every week or anything like that, but a couple times it poked through. I feel like for a launch of a first season show that was trying different things, I think it could have been worth it to allow the audience it was meant for to find it. But that wasn't up to me, so I fully respect the decision, even if I'm sad about it." So then, Nick, they went on to ask her about how she felt about the negativity directed at the show, not just by, you know, idiots like us, not that we were doing it, but, you know, the Star Wars fan content creators, but also other media outlets. And she says, "I have thoughts about this, and I don't want to go on a tangent, so I'll stick to the personal rather than the professional. I was not online. However, I am a Star Wars fan, which means I have always been, since the launch of YouTube, part of the Star Wars recap, criticism, lionization, fandom community." So yes, she has listened to us. "These guys I've known for years and years. So when I got the information from others about what the weather report was, there was this real concern from friends of mine or coworkers of mine that saddened me. I also was like, I know who these guys are. You don't have to tell me who's talking about it or how bad it is online. I know exactly who they are. Star Wars Theory. I supported them on Patreon. There are some of them that I respect, us, and there are some of them that I think are absolutely snake oil salesmen, just opportunists. Then, of course, there are the fascists and racists. So it runs a gamut. But it revealed to me that there is a misunderstanding between the studios and that engagement. They think of it as fandom, and in ways it is, but studios use it almost like a focus group. It made me start to think, rather than these fans are toxic or this thing is being mean to me, it made me think more that the content being made about Star Wars will ultimately be more culturally impactful than actual Star Wars. I believe we're headed into that space." So, yeah, I mean, Nick, she just kind of comes out and says it. Like, I think people need to know that Leslie is just as big of a Star Wars fan as Nick and I, probably more so. She is very well studied. You hear her here. She knows what's going on YouTube. Without calling out the channels, she calls out the Star Wars theories. And Nick, she's more or less saying, like, hey, I think Lucasfilm, I'll say it for, kind of fucked this one up. They knee-jerked it, right?
Yeah. I mean, here's what I have learned, just like being, especially recently, like being a fan of content and like really trying to follow like good storytelling, whether it be something that's already been made before or like, already written, like Rings of Power, Wheel of Time, stuff like that.
Canceled by, you saw that, right? Wheel of Time's done.
Yeah, canceled after season 3. And here's the thing. Studios are cowards. They're cowards. They will bow to any bit of negativity that is thrown their way because they have no moral center. All their moral center is the center of their wallet. Like, and I know that there are people that work at these companies that have the best intentions and they want to put out good storytelling and they know that they've put out good storytelling, but ultimately the people who make the calls are the ones that don't care. Typically, they're the ones that don't care. It's the people that purely look at dollar bills and ins and outs. And it's also the people that I spoke about before that have no fucking clue how to tell people you have $7 million to spend Iger. And we're not going to give you more. Like, so like there is always negativity. And one good thing that George Lucas was just impeccable at was being like a sin eater, for lack of a better term. He knew that people were going to shit on him constantly. I mean, and they did all the time. But what did he do? He's like, hey, I don't really care what you think. Like, this is the story that I want to tell. And if you got a problem with it, then don't fucking watch it. Like, you can go pound sand. I'm going to make a whole TV show after these movies are done, and it's going to be aimed at children. And I don't care what your 45, 50, 60-year-old ass thinks about it. If you don't like it, go away. And I think that more people need to have that attitude, because what we see now is stuff like this, where it's like The Acolyte was one of the most talked about TV shows on at the time. And she's right. Like, did it hit the highest peaks of
Nick? Wasn't it second overall for streaming in 24 though? Like, not just Star Wars, like overall.
Yeah, it was like on Disney Plus. Like, it was the second most watched TV series on Disney Plus in that year. And they're like, we're not going to renew it. It's like, why?
Like, there's no reason. Said that he doesn't like female leads
because Star Wars Theory, who has a brain worm just like RFK, is complaining about it, and he's got 100,000 people that watch his channel. It's like, well, Star Wars Theory's a moron, and if George Lucas was here, he would absolutely ignore this guy. So like, I think that we're in a zone now, and I'm hoping that we're moving out of it. Like,
I don't know, man. You see all these billionaires working deals to buy all of our media now. I mean, if Ellisons get what they want and they end up buying Warner Brothers too, we're essentially going to have the third richest guy in the world now will own Paramount, CBS, all of Warner Brothers, so HBO. And not that I watch CBS, but if you turn it on or you catch clips now, it is already transitioned into state-sponsored TV, at least news.
Yeah.
I mean, 60 Minutes is a joke now. The evening news is a joke now.
Yeah, I mean,
so they're going to be stifling more voices like Leslie, is what I fear, because those guys get control. They're not going to want it just because of their political views, but they're also never going to take chances on this type of stuff.
Yeah, but then hopefully what happens is the reaction within the creative community is you see studios like A24 and Blumhouse and these independent studios start to really tell stories that people are interested in. And it's like, will it mean the death of franchises that we love because they're owned by corporate fucking idiots? Probably. Like, it will. I mean, that's what happened with Wheel of Time, like you mentioned. Wheel of Time goes 3 seasons into a 15-book series, and in season 3 has the highest viewership it ever has, and is the best received season of the entire 3, and then they cancel it because they're morons. Like,
Bezos is like, nah, we need money for AI. We need data centers.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think that we're getting to a point now where, unfortunately, there are people like Leslie out there that have interesting stories to tell and aren't just retreading what we've seen before in Star Wars. But they're not going to be able to do it. Yeah. And what's going to happen is they're going to take their interesting ideas and they're going to create their own IP, and a studio like A24 is going to work with them, and they're going to make something that's absolutely incredible that we could have seen Star Wars colored, but because the corporate overlords are afraid of a guy on YouTube and a bunch of bots that are run out of Indonesia.
I love that.
Then
I wish. Why did Elon turn that feature back off so soon?
Because he realized that he has now exposed that more than 50% of the users on his own platform are
foreign
farms.
bots.
So,
like, foreign bots.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I feel bad because this show was good. People know that this show was good. People know
there was some wonkiness to it. 100%. Like early on, I mean, it was like, okay, that song is like, okay, but man, once you hit episode 3, 4, 5, 6 is like, holy shit. And then the cliffhanger there, it's like, okay, we got Vernestra Rowe going rogue and taking one of the twins and going to use her to get her former Padawan. You got Plagueis checking them out. Now we know that Khmer was essentially the prototype for the Knight of Ren, because you could have explored that story, but hey, it's gone. And here we are. So
it's sad. It's sad, right, man. Imagine if like shows like The Office or Parks and Rec, or some of these
no
shows
one watched. No one watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah, like nobody. Like imagine if they only had one season. Imagine if like all of these iconic TV shows.
Yeah.
From like the early 2000s, early 2010s, they were like, oh, you get one season to nail it, to truly nail it, and if you don't nail it and become the Nielsen darling in season 1, then you're canceled. Like, what are we doing here? Like. And it's just, I really like, I really hope that Leslie finds a good spot to land. I'm a big fan of Russian Doll. I'm a big fan of the Acolyte. I really like her storytelling style, and I'm interested to see what else she has to make, whether it's Star Wars related or not. But I will say that like, we're getting to a point now that like people are just going to choose not to work in Star Wars TV, because why the fuck would you? Like,
I see that. I see that happen. Hopefully that happens a lot. Like, hey, I'm done working with CBS, or I think Oscar Isaac's like, I'm done working for Disney for a while until they get their shit figured out, politically and whatnot. So, hell, I'm about ready to be done with Apple. I can't believe what Tim Cook's been doing. I mean, you can use
Tim Cook is
the guise of like, oh, you got to take care of the company. No, fuck you. You don't take care of the company that way. Going to state dinners with, I don't even want to. We say too much, Nick. They're listening to us now. Like we are. I don't think most of America knows that they've signed up to essentially get the same spying tech that Israel's been using for decades on population, and that's coming here to America now. Like the police state is coming.
Yeah.
But hey, we're prices are down at least. The economy's doing great. So I don't know what we're.
Yeah, economy's doing
Nick.
Great. Eggs are low.
I go to the fucking grocery store now. I don't even buy booze, and it's like $250. Like the zero booze grocery run is almost $300, so we got a problem. But hey, we're not here to talk that type of shit. We've avoided it for almost a year straight, so we're not going back down those holes. Plus, we don't want to be rounded up and locked up. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into this week's fan segment. We do it every week. There's 2 ways to get involved. First up is the question of the week. You just got to be following us on our socials and look for the question. This week, we asked, hey, do you guys want a Mandalorian Season 4 on TV? So let's see what the fans had to say. You got to give me a second here because I know my screens are not going to. Hey, wow, they did. They worked. Yay!
Look at that.
All right, let's get the question pulled up here. So, Nick, do you want a 4th season of The Mandalorian? Nick already answered. He said, hell no, he won't go. But what about our fans?
No, we won't go. We won't go. All right. Michael Kramer, not Mac Kramer. Michael Kramer says, yes, I do. Of course he does. Season 4 of The Mandalorian. Yes, he does.
I guess. Next up, I guess I should stop asking yes or no answers. Look at this shit. Look at the next one. Yes.
He says yes. Thank you. Thank you for that response.
What a terrible fucking question of the week.
Hey, once we rebrand, like Matt teased, maybe a rebrand coming. We could spice up the questions a little bit more. I am not a committee. Yes, please. League of Extraordinary Sixers. She says yes, please. Okay. And then Veer Melior.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Veer at least has some thoughts.
Veer Melior says that depends. Will it make a comeback in a new original story? Just continue like season 3? That's a good question. And here's my response to that. This was Matt. Think back years and years ago. Go back years. You remember when Mando season 1 comes out? I'm like, you know what would be interesting? Like the Mandalorian is such
I know where you're going.
Yeah, it's such a ambiguous title. You know, you could have stories that focus on different Mandalorians in different seasons, and it doesn't just have to follow one guy who has now become the Mandalorian. I think that could be an interesting way to handle it. You know, like there's a lot of Mandalorian stories that could be told, and I think that's kind of what Veer Melior might be talking about.
Yeah, man, I think you were definitely on to something way back when, but at this point, they've made their bed, and that branding is going to be forever tied to Din and Grogu now. So you would have to do something like the Star Wars story shit, where it'd be like Bo-Katan, the Mandalorian story.
The Mandalorian. But even if you did that, it'd be pretty like the Mandalorian. You know, and you just go back in the past, go back and talk about, you know, all of these the Mandalorian wars that we've only heard about through video games and
do a prequel and show what Gideon actually did on Mandalore. Like show that how he wrestled away the saber and all that fun stuff. So who knows? As we discussed earlier, though, if Mando and Grogu makes buku bucks at the theaters, I don't think we're gonna ever have to worry about a 4th season. So. Too bad. See you guys. So sad. All right. The other way to get involved in our fan segment is for you creative types. We like to look at your Star Wars creations, be it toy photography, traditional art, poo art. You never know. All you got to do on Instagram is follow us at StarWarsTime.show. Use the hashtag StarWarsTimeShow. But most importantly, if you want to be considered for the top 5, make sure you're doing ad tag at StarWarsTime.show. And depending on the week, either myself or Nick will select the top 5 artists out of those tags. All right. So this is a Nick week. He has chosen 5 new heroes to be honored.
Indeed, I have. 5. So to kick off the top 5 this week, we're going to go with Mr. Jedi Temple Shots. Jedi Temple Shots is giving us an awesome shot of a little Lego figure, and the little Lego Jedi kneeling down in meditation on a rock in this little pond, and around him spins the parts of his lightsaber, so you can see the hilt. You can even almost looks like it's a dual bladed saber. You got the 2 handles that you see on the spinning blade from the what are those called now? The it's not the Sith. What are the Inquisitors, the inquisitorial kind of handhold thing. You got 2 of those. He's got a hilt there, deep in meditation. I mean, this looks like some pretty cool stuff from this Jedi that I think he may have named Ethron Knox. Says meditation. Yeah, man. I mean, he almost, I can't tell if he's High Republic era with all that gold or if he's like a Jedi Temple guard. Either way, both Nick and I, we've always been drawn to Lego photography. The little brick men are the best. They really are. So Jedi Temple Shots, killing it right here. Give them a follow over on the gram. That is right. Next up, we got Black Series Natural Light. And Black Series Natural Light.
Doing what I want to be doing right now.
I know, right? He's communing with the plants. Yes, he's communing with the natural forces of Earth and whatever planet he may be on right now. But we see Yoda again in meditation, deep meditation. That's what was calling out to me. Apparently, this week at the top 5 was, hey, let's just all chill out,
chill,
man.
Let's
just meditate.
Yeah, let's fucking chill. Yeah.
It'd be nice if you would. But we got Yoda sitting there in his little hobo outfit, his
this is
tunic
my favorite
with
version of Yoda, the hermit.
Oh yeah. And like Yoda. Matt said, he is in communion with the fungi. He's sitting on a large stools of mushrooms surrounded by greenery. Out, man.
He's trancing.
He's absolutely just he's in a trip. He is in a spirit quest, as some would call it. So it's just an awesome shot here. I love the sunlight breaking through at the top of the image.
He's soaking it in, man. He's just soaking it up.
Just good stuff here from Black Series Natural Light, taking advantage of that natural light.
Dig it. Dig it. Give him a follow over on the Instagram. All one word on that handle, by the way. And up next,
Up next, we have one of our faves. Here's Mando mugshots. Mando mugshots.
Hold on.
Oh wait,
time out. I had to replace that one. Hold on, let me show you.
Oh yes. sorry. Oh no!
Hold on.
Pull the plug.
This is the one I went with because I talked about that Mando mugshots last week because it looks like it's right out of the War of the Bounty Hunters comic, but that's the one I picked up there from Oaksmead Station.
Yes, Oaksmead Station.
Look at that. It's got to be like a custom mythosaur.
I was gonna say, man, this is sick as hell. You know what it looks like? I tell you what it is. This is an Indominus Rex figure from Jurassic World that he like put the mythosaur kind of like
he decked it out
on the side.
And look at that. He's got like hair on his throat.
Got a little chest hair.
Check that out.
Got a little chest hair. So yeah, what we see riding the mythosaur, we got Boba Fett riding the mythosaur, and I mean this is some badass looking stuff. I love the patina, or I love like the vintage look of the shot.
That's the best part.
It's just like. It really does make it look like a old 60s kind of B-movie style with like the stop motion animation and everything like that. Boba Fett's just got the reins. He's hanging on to it, looking like a badass on the back of that mythosaur. And like I said, this was definitely like a kit bash mythosaur. You can tell it's an Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. But I mean, Oaksmead Station made this thing look really, really cool. I love the style. I love the creativity here to really like bring a mythosaur to life in a way that we've never seen it before.
Yeah, and luckily this one isn't just hanging out in a cavernous pool of water to where you don't get to see it at all.
You don't really get to.
You get to see more than just its fucking eye.
Yeah, exactly. So, good stuff there from Oaksmead Station. Next up, we are going to Mind Trick Photography. Mind Trick Photography has given us an awesome look at our boy Darth Vader. In his full getup, lightsaber ignited, while also staring deeply into a Sith holocron hovering right over his hand. Knowledge is power, and the holocron holds plenty. Says the caption of this shot here. I mean, it's a very clean shot. Awesome. Figure of Vader here. The lightsaber effects are great. The holocron effect is awesome as well. Just a really badass shot. We've never got to see a holocron in live action Star Wars before. Would be really cool if we ever did get to see one.
Maybe it's in Starfighter.
Shots like this. Maybe it's in Starfighter. Maybe they find a holocron. They find their way to the unknown regions through a holocron or something. Who knows? But just an incredible Vader shot here from Mind Trick Photography.
Yeah, I dig it. Looks like you got a little custom cape on that bad boy. So good looking shot here from Mind Trick _photography over on the gram. And Nick's last choice is
one of our favorites recently. Honestly, this is JZHZ6669.
And what?
JZHZ, I don't know if this is an official collab or not, but he's got a Coca-Cola Zero ad here with some Darth Vader happening. And not only is it's cracked mask, cracked leg, cracked arm Vader. I mean, this Vader is all so cool. Jacked up.
I just got this one. He got the super version. Nick, do you notice how the cape forms Vader's mask?
Oh wow! Okay, that? Now that you say that, yes, I do see that.
It's a nice little touch. I did not get the super edition, so I'm missing the helmet. I've got the busted face, and then I don't have that killer cape. But either way, I think we've talked about a few of JZHG's Coca-Cola collabs, and they're just fantastic. They shouldn't be. I mean, a Vader shot set to Coca-Cola branding should not be awesome, but it is. I'm sorry.
But you know what? I mean, you know what he's like. It just works so well because the branding colors are the same. Like Vader's black and red, Coke is black and red. Let's make it happen. But yeah, man, JZHC has been putting out high quality artwork for a while now on Instagram. So if you're not following him already, make sure you give him a follow because honestly, the creativity, he's done a whole series of Coca-Cola shots. He's got Ahsoka ones. He's got Obi-Wan Kenobi ones. He's got Anakin Skywalker ones. I mean, this Vader is just the most recent and an absolutely terrific tear that he's been on.
Definitely.
So make sure to give them a follow.
Definitely one of my favorite 112 1/6 scale photographers out there. And just a fantastic page. I'm scrolling through it for people that are watching online. If not, make sure to check out JZHZ6669 on Instagram. Boom.
That is right. So that is the end of the top 5, and that is the end of our show for this week. Thank you all for being a part of it. We appreciate all of you who listen at home, who listen on the road, who listen to the lives, who listen to the pre-records. Right. You are our people. So we appreciate
sending those super chats. We're not going to be able to have a Thanksgiving this year because the super chats have gone down since we don't do a weekly live. So help us out.
We are out of money. We are out of money here. Okay,
everyone. Hopefully you're doing the good thing, the right thing, and you're watching this Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, getting ready for your big feast with your family and friends. If not, shame on you. Shame. But we still love you. There's always time for Star Wars time, my friends. Let people know. Let them know that maybe we'll even start talking about other things than Star Wars time. There's always going to be Star Wars time, but we may be Star Wars time and stuff moving forward. So you just don't know. Keep us in your targets. All right, we're not going anywhere, but we might be morphing a bit in 2026. So always time for Star Wars time. Even if we are no longer Star Wars time, there's still going to be time for it. You guys get the gist, right? We're always going to say this, though. If you listen to the Star Wars Time show, the Force will be with you always.